I am still on a journey of finding me, ADG. So far, I have found myself in Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, Joshua, Judges, Ruth, all the way to Revelations. And there was a time when people who looked like me, we were not allowed to read or write. If caught doing so, was an immediate end of life. In those days, the truth was written in books because they didn't care. Even if people who looked like me saw what was written, they were confident that those individuals couldn't read or comprehend what was written. Around the time that they claimed that slavery ended, things changed. History was rewritten, much like they're trying to do today. And the Apocrypha was taken out of the Bible. Apparently it used to nestle somewhere between the Old Testament and the New Testament. Books were stamped not to be removed from the private library of so-and-so, or not for public viewing. Some of those books are over 200 years old, probably close to 300 years old or more. I've had the chance to touch some of those books and read sections and opened pages that were never previously opened. And, reggae singers have sung songs about bring back the Maccabee version. They were talking about the version of the King James Bible that contained all these books that were taken out. And how did they know about that? Because people like me did learn to read back then and did pass that information down orally to their descendants. But anyway, one day in the not too distant future, I hope to sit down with the owner of those books and study them. We shouldn't be reading just for reading sake. We should be studying and asking the Creator for knowledge and understanding and clarity when we read. I am certain that I will find a little more of me in those books. Today, people who look like me have spent thousands of dollars and pounds to get those books into their possession. I have been fortunate to be asked to read little sections from some of those books, or to look at certain maps and and to look at certain maps in some of those books. And for me, it was my honor to do so, and I just want to express my gratitude to the individual who allowed me to touch and smell that musty smell of history in those books. You see, back then, when they were stamped not to be removed from the private library of so-and-so, or not for public viewing, those individuals cared about the truth getting out. But then, when they decide to go meet their maker, whoever that may be, their descendants didn't read these books and didn't care. They just put them out there on the market for exorbitant amount of money. without knowing what is contained in them. But the Creator did say that we would be woken up in the land of our captivity. And on waking up, some of us learned about those books and decided that it didn't matter what it cost from a financial perspective to obtain these books with the truth in them. And I, for one, am very happy that those books are now safely in the hands of individuals who will protect them. Now, I've been talking about Esdras. Who is Esdras? Or who was Esdras? Esdras was the son of Sarius and the 16th generation of Aaron, the chief priest. So Aaron was a chief priest in the family of Israel. And he's the 16th generation of Aaron. He was a scribe who was versed in the law of Moses. He was very skilled in the law and commandments. He didn't omit anything from the law and the commandments. He taught Israel, the people, the ordinances and judgments. He was a priest and reader of the law of the Creator. He was sent by the king of Babylon to Jerusalem to educate Israel about the Creator's laws, statutes, and commandments. Esdras had many questions for which he sought answers, and as such, the Creator sent the angel Uriel to visit Esdras many times. Uriel answered the questions that he or she could answer, and Uriel advised Esdras that this world was made for many, but the world to come is made for few. They spoke of things that were happening then, and they spoke of things to come. The time of the future that they spoke about and the things that were shown to Esdras is now. The future is here, and I will prove it to you, because what was hidden from the wise and prudent is now revealed to the babe and suckling. Tonight I will be reading from Esdras, 2nd Esdras, chapter 11. And those of us who know will recognize that what was written back in the days of Esdras is exactly what is happening today. You will recognize the players and you will say, oh, that is so and so. Oh my goodness, that is so and so. So here we go. 2nd Esdras chapter 11. Then saw I a dream, and behold, there came up from the sea an eagle, which had 12 feathered wings and 3 heads. And I saw, and behold, she spread her wings over all the earth, and all the winds of the air blew on her, and were gathered together. And I beheld, and out of her feathers there grew other contrary feathers, and they became little feathers and small. But her heads were at rest. The head in the midst was greater than the other, yet rested it with the residue. Moreover, I beheld, and lo, the eagle flew with her feathers, and reigned upon earth and over them that dwell therein. And I saw that all things under heaven were subject unto her. And no man spake against her, no, not one creature upon earth. And I beheld, and lo, the eagle rose up her talons, and spoke to her feathers, saying, Watch not all at once. Sleep every one in his own place, and watch by course. But let the heads be preserved for the last. And I beheld, and lo, the voice went not out of her heads, but from the midst of her body. And I numbered her contrary feathers, and behold, there were 8 of them. And I looked, and behold, on the right side there arose 1 feather, and reigned over all the earth. And so it was that when it reigned, the end of it came, and the place thereof appeared no more. So the next following stood up and reigned, and had a great time. And it happened that when it reigned, the end of it came also, like as the first, so that it appeared no more. Then came there a voice unto it, and said, Hear thou that hast borne rule over the earth so long, this I say unto thee, before thou beginnest to appear no more, there shall none after thee attain unto thy time, neither unto the half thereof. Then arose the third, and reigned as the other before, and appeared no more also. So went it with all the residue, one after another, as that every one reigned, and then appeared no more. Then I beheld, and lo, in process of time, the feathers that followed stood up upon the right side, that they might rule also, and some of them ruled, but within a while they appeared no more. For some of them were set up, but ruled not. After this I looked, and behold, the 12 feathers appeared no more, nor the 2 little feathers. And there was no more upon the eagle's body, but 3 heads that rested, and 6 little wings. Then saw I also that 2 little feathers divided themselves from the 6, and remained under the head that was upon the right side, for the 4 continued in their place. And I beheld, and lo, the feathers that were under the wing, thought to set up themselves, and to have the rule. And I beheld, and lo, there was one set up, but shortly it appeared no more. And the second was sooner away than the first. And I beheld, and lo, the 2 that remained thought also in themselves to reign. And when they so thought, behold, there awaked 1 of the heads, and were at rest. Namely, it that was in the midst, for that was greater than the 2 other heads. And then I saw that the 2 other heads were joined with it. And behold, the head was turned with them that were with it, and it did eat up the 2 feathers under the wing that would have reigned. But this head put the whole earth in fear, and bare rule in it over all those that dwelt upon the earth with much oppression. And it had a governance of the world more than all the wings that had been. And after this I beheld, and lo, the head that was in the midst suddenly appeared no more, like as the wings. But there remained the two heads, which also in like sort ruled upon the earth, and over those that dwelt therein. And I beheld, and lo, the head upon the right side devoured it that was upon the left side. Then there's a typo here. Then I heard a voice which said unto me, Look before thee, and consider the things that thou seest. And I beheld, and lo, as it were, a roaring lion chased out of the wood. And I saw that he sent out a man's voice unto the eagle, and said, Hear thou, I will talk with thee, and the highest shall say unto thee, Art not thou in that remainest of the four beasts, whom I made to reign in my world, and the end of their time might come through them? And the fourth came and overcame all the beasts that were past, and had power over the world with great fearfulness, and over the whole compass of the earth, with much wicked oppression, and so long time dwelleth there upon the earth with deceit. For the earth, as thou not judged with truth? For thou hast afflicted the mark, thou hast hurt the peaceable, thou hast loved liars, and destroyed the dwellings of them that brought forth fruit, and hast cast down the walls of such as did thee no harm. In other words, they broke down the walls of the people that didn't do them any harm. Therefore is thy wrongful dealing come up unto the highest, and thy pride unto the mighty. The highest also has looked upon the proud times, and behold, they are ended, and behold, they are ended, and his abominations are fulfilled, and therefore appear no more. Though eagle, nor thy horrible wings, nor thy wicked feathers, nor thy malicious heads, nor thy hurtful claws, nor all thy vain body, that all the earth may be refreshed, and may return, being delivered from thy violence, and that she may hope for the judgment and mercy of him that made her. So, those of you who are in the know can relate that to what is happening today. Is Babylon imploding? Babylon must and shall fall. Thus says the Creator. I am going to leave it there. Please do not forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment. I know people are watching, but they're not liking, and they're not subscribing, and they're not sharing. The message needs to get out there, so please do like, share, subscribe, and comment. I give you my peace. I give you my ahab. Until next time, shalom.